Right, so we're back over the North Yorkshire Moors this morning. The sun's just coming up. It's pretty cold, and we're going to do a 9.5 mile circular route. Basically, on the last video when I did the weighing stones over here, I pointed out Ingleby Incline, and I think I said it was steep as shit or something like that, and that I hated it. I was supposed to go over to Stride Edge yesterday, Helvellyn and the likes of that, but the weather looked a bit iffy, and I didn't really want to take the risk of going over if it wasn't a clear day, because it'll probably be the last time I do that. I did it a few months ago, and I wanted to go back just to get some footage. So with it being cloudy and rainy, I thought there wasn't really much point in going across because I wouldn't get very good footage. So I've come over to do Ingleby Incline. So the route's on all trails, and it's just called Clearbank and Ingleby Incline. It starts at Clearbank car park, the same as the last one I did over here. They've got it down as an anti-clockwise walk. So normally you'll be coming down Ingleby Incline towards the end of the walk. And I noticed a few comments when I first did it a few years ago of people suggesting to do it clockwise and actually go up Ingleby Incline. So that's the way I decided to do it, and that's the way I've always did it since then. But don't underestimate how steep this thing is. Literally outside of the Lake District in the North Pennines, it's probably the steepest thing I've ever went up. I need to try and keep quiet on this initial wooded bit, because the last couple of times that I've been over, I've had deer on this path. I've got a deer right in front of us on the path there. Big stag. She just took off round the corner. Not sure how well you can see, but he's literally just on the path right here. There he's there, going into the rough. There you get your first proper view of the incline. So it just goes straight up there. I hope this camera does it justice when I get to the bottom. Like, sometimes the action cameras don't show things in the proper perspective to make things look a lot smaller than they actually are. Like, that is the Devil's Bank. This lower level wooded area here, horseshoes round to the bottom of the incline. Realistically, this is going to be your last chance to see any type of deer, because once you get up the incline, you basically just walk a moorland again. I can't believe how much logging's going on here, man. Literal trail of destruction all the way along this path. Of all the routes that I've did over the North Yorkshire Moors, this one I would say would probably be the most scenic, but I'd say it was the toughest. I've did the Gisborne 3 Peaks, and I've did the Gisborne 4 Peaks, which is about a 14-mile walk, and nothing compares to this bank. Sounds like we've got something dying in the trees. We've reached the bottom of the incline now. It's basically saying it was some type of railway contraption, and it's steep. As you can see, these gadgets here seem to have wrote the tram off somehow, and it's just basically telling you what it was used for and how stupid you must be to try and walk up it. You've got to question your own sanity at times, because it takes a special kind of idiot to get up at 4 o'clock on a Sunday morning after being at work all week to try and climb something like this bitch. I'm about halfway up, and I've had to stop and take 5. It's a good indicator of your fitness, because I did this last year and I think I had to stop 3 or 4 times, whereas I've just went up halfway there and I've only had to stop once. But it is hard, man. Originally when I first bought the GoPro and I started recording hikes and stuff, I had planned on just filming our trips over to the lakes and bagging the wainwrights, but sometimes the weather doesn't play a ball and there's certain things you can't do at the Lake District in the wet or bad weather because you'll die. And I just want to keep putting the videos out once a fortnight, so if I can get over to the Pennines or if I can get over here once a fortnight, I'll be mega chuffed. Bit of a false summit here. You think that's the top, but it's not. Just reached the top of Ingleby Incline. It's about 1,300 feet up or something. The sun is blaring now. It's been pretty much covered all the way up behind the rocks and cliffs and things, but now it's banging me face. And that's the view of the top. That's where we were last week. That's the Wainstones, Kringle Moor, Cold Moor over that way. And now we've got a good chunk of walking through the moors. So I best get cracking because I've got, what we got, about 5 miles left. One thing that I've noticed happens over here is my watch keeps buzzing and it's basically telling us I've got no phone service. It doesn't affect the GPS, but when I first started I used to just use my phone and get the All Trails route up, and I didn't realise obviously if I lost signal you could potentially lose the route and get lost, and I got away with it for 2 or 3 times before I decided to get the Garmin. But just be aware, sometimes if you're using your phone it's dead easy to lose signal in the hills and things like that, and that's how quite a few people get lost. So invest in a GPS watch. We've now come to a fork in the road. We're going to head off right. I'm going to have a walk over to that summit cairn over there. That's Round Hill. That's 1,400 and something feet up. I've never actually been over there, I've always walked past it. When I came last year, there's always someone there. There's someone on there now, man. It must be about 6:30 in the morning. But anyway, last time I came, there must have been about 50 Germans standing on there. And I'm not unsociable or anything like that, but I do hate people. So if she doesn't nick off by the time I get there, I'm not going over. The woman's gone, and we're at the Ordnance Survey Trig Point, Round Hill, and it's somewhere I haven't been before. I've always just continued straight on, and to be honest, it's not special. Now come to another fork in the road. You want to head off left, that's the coast to coast walk road. We're certainly not ever going to be doing that. I know I twist about the moors, but that's not a bad view. That's the Wainstones just there, what we did 2 weeks ago. But that's not bad for Sunday morning. That's not bad. Alright, Chief. And that's the last 2 miles of the walk. Nice view of Roseby Topping there. Lovely little pond. Canal. Do not want to miss this left turn here, because if you keep going straight up there, it'll take you right back onto the moors. Oh my god. This is an absolute horror show. I've got to go through here. It's overgrown as anything. Massively boggy. Ah, this is going to be fun. Not much of a stream. Kid, I might have to jump that. Oh, here. Whoa! Jesus Christ, I want to do this. Woo! Jurassic Park country. I tell you what, it is hot. I've had to tap my fleece off and bust the sarnie out to get us through this last lap. What we've got left here, got a mile to go, so we've done probably 8.5, and this is it's a tough walk for a Sunday. It's normally something I would do on a Saturday. This ham and spring cheese sandwich has hit me like a crack pipe. Raring last mile. Right, approaching the final descent on the hike. On all trails I'd noticed some woman had commented, complaining, basically saying she was annoyed because they hadn't explained that there was a scramble. She's saying these steps are a scramble. Now, I haven't been here for a year, but what I do remember of it is it wasn't a scramble. To be honest, a three-legged horse could get down, no bother. Some people will just twist on 21, so don't let this put you off, because there's no scramble, it's just steps. Approaching the steps, it does look a bit sinister, but as you can see, there's no scramble. And like you say, most people come up here first, like these two lovely chaps walking up now. Scramble my feckin' arse. Just steps. So that's pretty much the end of the walk. We'll just head down the scramble slash steps now, back to my car and home. It's not the lakes again, but I've got out and done something, and I feel like I was a little bit cynical towards this area last time on the Wainstones video, but I've enjoyed this. It's tough for a Sunday. It's a good 9.5 mile, and I'll feel it tomorrow definitely. But it's a canny walk, and I would say if you were going to do it Ingleby Incline first, like push yourself a bit. Saying that, like, if you were to go up here first, that's a bit steep as well. So either or, whichever. But it was a canny hike out. So hopefully next time I'll be back and there'll be a lakes video, but we'll just have to see how things go with that, like. But anyway, toodle pip.